Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today's episode is going to be this wooden model, owlclock. It's from ROKR brand. Usually I do the U-Gears models, but this is the same concept. Has the wooden pieces lasered out, and you just got to put them together and everything. So this is the first time of me trying this brand. We'll go through it together. But we'll see how it goes. As always, if you enjoy the videos, please like and subscribe so I get more content out. And I hope you enjoy it. Hi everyone, welcome back. Another episode of our owlclock wooden model. As you can see, we're just about done. I'd say probably maybe a couple more steps, and I think that's probably gonna be it. So I think it's one of the quickest wooden models I've ever put together. So, but of course the main test is to make sure it works. So we'll finish this and see what happens. Oh, hang on a second. There we go. Get in the right spot here. Okay. In the bottom, and A5 goes like so, and A5 goes like that. So we have this, and then actually, let me put this where this is even. And that way it'll slide in a little easier by doing it like that, and then make sure I have the okay. And then maybe 6. There we go. Whew. Okay, now that, and then these go through. And push in. Okay. There we go. Definitely getting there. So okay. I think that's as far as it's gonna go. Okay. And then one good thing is they actually made sure that the little tool here fits. Okay. And you got... Okay, after had to kind of look at the handles a little bit. These weren't going on like they should have. So I wanted to just make sure I didn't mess with, break them or anything on how they went on. But once you kind of got them on the plastic piece far enough down, it actually did snap on, but it took a little bit of time. But I just want to make sure I was doing it right before I continued on, because the instruction book really doesn't say what to do with it. It just shows you to put it on there, but it doesn't really say how to put it on there. So I apologize about that, but if something doesn't work right, not gonna waste too much of your time trying to put it in. So now with this, with these two, it looks like, yeah. So they want to make this easy, the front face. They want to make it easy for you to take on and off. So it's just you put it in and then just slide it. Unless I break it or something. Oh, I think I did slide it. Yep, okay. So that way you can easily take the front off and everything, and then let's see, D22, and I just want you to connect these up here. And then D22 here. So that doesn't go anywhere. And D23. Let's just hold it front in place. Just like that. And then like a little key. It goes in between here. Just gotta get it to slide in. And just put the next one in. There we go. And you can use these to kind of pick it up. And then this goes in the back. There we go. That's to be able to turn So besides the clock, it's also a timer that you can set for the back. So this should turn. So for 30 minutes, rotate timer key clockwise to finish winding. You're winding up the bands, and once it's harder to turn, that means you're good. And then rotate the bell key, and you can't turn no more. And then you pull this out to start the timer, but you got to get the weight right. So to get it to keep working and everything. This is where you just gotta mess with the weight, and then I gotta see why the clock isn't working. It should have worked with the battery in it, but I'll check on that and see what happens, and maybe make another video with everything working. I gotta see why it's not going. But with any of the wooden models, you gotta. Sometimes they won't work the first time. You gotta kind of keep working at it and run them a few times. I wanted to just do a little final video. I know we finished the build on the last episode, but kind of wanted to go around and show all the pieces of our owlclock wooden model, and just kind of show you everything involved with it. Now the front part, the actual clock itself, I mean, everything is built, all the gears and everything is more for the timer function that comes with it, not for the clock function. So the clock itself, the hands and everything, it was ran just by a regular clock box that you just put a battery in and it runs the clock, and that's it. So the gears or anything has nothing to do with that whatsoever. But I mean, it looks nice for a clock if you want to have it out and everything. The pendulum doesn't move for the clock or anything like that. So the second part of what we built, and just to show you kind of the sides and the back, there's a timer function on the back, which is right up here. And if you look close, you can see it's got, 10, 20. So you can wind it all the way to 30 minutes. And when you wind it, then you set the springs, both springs, you turn them as much as you can, and then you set the pendulum going, and it's supposed to count down to 30 minutes. And when the timer goes, then the bell that you put on, it'll kind of, ring a little bit. It's not too loud or anything like that, but the whole function of everything that we built is all for the timer function, not for the clock itself. The clock is just decorative or anything, but there is a problem with the clock box that came with it, because I put a battery in it and it doesn't run. So I'll have to get with the company to see see if they can send me another one and everything, because I've tried 2 or 3 different batteries and did everything, the steps, what it told me to do, and the dials won't. It'll run for a little and then it'll just stop. So I've got to contact them to see what's going on. But I still just wanted to at least show you how the timer function works. The pendulum kind of swings a little. I'm still working on getting everything correct. Maybe need to put some more wax on a couple of the pieces to get it to move a little bit more. But And that's my history with the wooden models is I do get them to work, and sometimes they work all the time, sometimes they don't. So to get the timer function started, so you start here and turn it back. We'll just do 5 minutes, a little bit. Oh, it's already started. And then you turn this all the way until it doesn't go anymore. This is one of the bands that came with it. So pretty much until you can't turn it no more, then you go. And then this is the band for the alarm. So you turn it all the way until you can't turn this anymore. You don't want to do too much, or things will break. But so you turn that till it doesn't go anymore. You turn this one until it doesn't go anymore, and then you just set the pendulum going. And what it's doing is pretty much the gears up top here are hitting the top piece up here, and it's also hitting the bottom part down there, and that's kind of what's getting the pendulum to move. The pendulum has a weight in the bottom of it. See, it stopped right there. Has a weight in the bottom of it that you can move up and down, but that's just to give it that weight for the pendulum to move up and down and everything, for the gears to hit it. But and that's why you need to wax the edges of this gear and the edges of the pendulum right there, just so it makes it slick enough for the edges, the tips of the gear to slide off of it to push it and everything. So, but no, this is, and that's where I got to work on to see exactly, if I just need to put some more wax on the pieces or something else. So, but I mean, all the gears are working fine. Everything's connected to where it's supposed to be, and everything. And the bell goes off, which I'll probably try to speed it up a little bit to get it to the bell part, just so you can hear that. But the clock part isn't. It's just a regular, clock box with a battery, and that's it. So I mean, you got the nice little dials on the front and everything, but everything built was all for this timer function and everything. So, but I mean, it still looks kind of cool, with the owl in the front. And you can take the front piece off, if you need to change the battery and everything. You don't need to take like everything off of it or anything like that. So you can just take the little front piece off of the where the dials and everything are. You can just like slide it off, and it'll come off. So they made it easy in that function. But so I mean, this is pretty much it. And this is with all wooden models. You got your gears and pieces that will interact with each other to get the movement part of whatever you build. I think almost every wooden model has some type of mechanical feature that will get it to move or something to move. So so other ones will have rubber bands to help with the tension to get the motion going and everything, and you'll have the toothpicks and some of the other ones to help with connecting some of the pieces where tabs won't help or anything. So, but no, I mean, I enjoyed this build. It was, like I said, it was one of the easier ones to do. A couple of times it was a little frustrating to get some pieces together, or I just wasn't paying attention to the steps, as I always say you need to do and everything. But and once I get everything worked out and get the clock part actually working on it, then it'd be a nice little piece just sent out to for people to look at and stuff, and especially if you get this timer function going and everything. But and with a lot of these too, sometimes it's just getting them to run, a handful of times, 3 or 4 times, just getting the gears going, get them, connecting with each other, getting that wax on each piece and rub together. And the more you do it, the more it'll be a little bit smoother and it'll work a little bit better. So, so it's just, just got to run through it a few times, which this one's actually run a lot better than the first couple times that I've tried it. So I just maybe run it, a few more times just to see if it gets a little better or anything. But no, it was a good build though, and we should be getting the alarm here in a second, or its type of alarm that it has. So. There you go. And it scared me. I jumped. So, but that's it though. So that was the timer function of it. And like I said, the clock part doesn't, it just runs on a battery. That's it. So nothing we built had anything to do with that. So, but it still looks pretty nice though, as a clock. I mean, if you have it sitting out and everything, so, you can see the gears turning behind the eyes, as it's going, just like that, and just have it going and everything. So it's just kind of cool, if you see it and everything. So, but I just wanted to do this little, just little final video for you guys, just to show you kind of how it worked and kind of, a little bit about it and stuff. So. And this is the front part I was talking about coming off. This whole front section right here, it just slides off to the left and comes out, and you can put a new battery into that battery box in the back and stuff. So, but no, I enjoyed it. So, and I hope you guys enjoyed them. I mean, it wasn't probably a lot of episodes, compared to my other ones, but again, I'm trying to make a complete build, try to complete all this, have all the steps in it and everything. But I'll have more videos to come later. So hope you guys enjoyed it. See you next episode.